Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series that is ebook of radiography. In this chapter we are going to see pelvis with both hip joints AP, lateral and hip joint lateral by frog leg position, how the x-rays are taken, what are the things to be seen in the x-rays, what are the clinical indications and how to go or how to find a best possible x-ray by eliminating multiple technical factors as well as discomfort to the patient. In this series we are going to see a radiographic approach to the hip joint pathologies, or that is how to take a x-ray of pelvis with both hips. Particularly AP and lateral hip joint can be taken as a single lateral or a symmetrical lateral by frog leg position. It's in continuation with our imaging website and also our lectures on YouTube concerning about the Learn Radiology Basics with Dr. Anil Joshi. It's a part of it, and in this we are going to see pelvis radiographs, how they are taken, what are the indication, what are the contraindication and what are the advantages of one procedure over the another. At the onset we want to disclaim that certain material in this series we have used from a free download from the web, which are royalty free as well as which do not have any financial expenses or demand on that. Most of the material is our own and has come from our departmental teaching material. We acknowledge with thanks those who has contributed this material to us. So also there are radiographs which are illustrated in detail for the technique. They are from our own department. We acknowledge with thanks all those who has contributed for this, and let's go to the lecture topic, that is on radiography of pelvis and hip joints. Now radiography is a radiation modality, and all the radiation modalities are with a benefit and risk of radiation. A care will be taken to minimize side effect of radiation by the technologists to protect patient, staff in the radiography room, so also to achieve maximum beneficial effect without any side effects. A strict discipline and precaution is must. Now radiographers are going to achieve patient safety as well as all the side effects. They are going to prevent minimum side effect, maximum benefit by keeping distance, because radiation follows inverse square law, then by adjusting a technique in such a way that the exposure timing will be as short as possible, and they will be using barriers shielding to patient as well as for themselves and for those who are going to be with the patient for helping patient out, but there also needs to be protection. So that will be given in by the form of aprons. A different video has been prepared describing all these details, and it is found on this website somewhere else. So today let us concentrate at pelvis with both hips. Now what are the indication for pelvis both hip? Is a trauma, arthritis, then suspected neoplasm, either primary or secondary spreading to pelvis. Pelvis is a fairly common organ which gets metastasized spread from lot of organs. Now pre and post operative assessment of the joint replacement, particularly hip joint, and for that reason we have to take these radiographs. Now patient can be in supine position with both feet internally rotated. It's extremely important, most important and really important thing that patients both feet should be internally rotated. If that is not done, then will not get proper visualization of neck, and it will be difficult to interpret whether there is any pathology regarding neck of the femur is concerned. So technologist has to take care that feet are internally rotated. Now there is no angulation required for the tube. It can be straight angle. The distance is usually 100 cm and film size is maximum, that is 14 by 17. Bucky has to be used so that we'll get clear picture. Now what are the important points in hip joint AP? The patient is placed in a supine position. The pelvis must be symmetrical even when only one side is to be considered. So even for right hip and left hip, even one hip is to be taken, then also we have to keep both hip in a symmetrical way. So also pelvis has to be properly placed. For maximum elongation and details of the femoral neck, The foot is inverted approximately 15 degrees and immobilized by means of a small sticking plaster. With small sticking plaster, we tie both the great toes together and separate the heel so that we can achieve a good internal rotation at femoral neck. A line is drawn between the anterior superior iliac spine and superior margin of the symphysis pubis. The centering point is a 1 inch distal to the midpoint of the line. This point will indicate a hip joint location. Now, hip joint first is surface-ally marked and the technique is applied accordingly. If the foot is everted instead of inverted, the lesser trochanter will be shown in maximum detail and the neck of the femur will be completely foreshadowed. We will not see any part of the femoral neck and it will be really difficult to comment whether there is any fracture or not. And most of the time, the position of patient for fractured neck is externally rotated because they feel comfortable in it, and that is the position where a radiologist cannot comment whether there is a pathology of fractured neck or not. So it is important to rotate the neck by gaining confidence of the patient, by reducing pain to him, but internal rotation is must for assessment of neck. The maximum details of the greater and lesser trochanter. The foot should be pointed directly upwards, that is a neutral position, and remain perpendicular to the tabletop. So depending on indication, there are different views we have to adopt by different angles so that different anatomical structure will be seen in better ways. Here we are seeing how a single side joint is drawn. We can see the line. First, the surface marking from anterior superior iliac spine to symphysis pubis, and if you draw a perpendicular line, that usually indicate a neck of femur. Now here we are seeing the SI joints, then crest of ilium, then posterior inferior iliac spine, greater sciatic notch, acetabulum. Then we are seeing the femoral head, greater trochanter, intertrochanteric crest, then lesser trochanter, femur, ischial tuberosity, obturator foramina. Then is the sacrum, which is radiographically important. Sacrum, sacrococcygeal joint, and the coccyx are also need to be seen in this projection, and they are important. Now let's go to the practically how it is taken. Most important here I told you is the internal rotation, which we have to see. Now patient is lying supine. Look at the great toes. Great toes are pointing towards each other and they should be as much near as possible. Sometimes a patient cannot give this position. In that condition, we have to put a small piece of sticking plaster holding both great toes together. Now cassette is 14 by 17 and the highest point of cassette is usually an iliac crest. So you palpate the iliac crest and see that the highest point of your cassette is touching it, so that entire pelvis will be projected. This is an imaging plate, so here there will be a direct radiography. There will not be any process required for this film. As soon as you shoot here, the same will be displayed on the monitor, and whatever are the errors or difficulties, we can get them. So this position appears to be correct, so let us verify again. Internal rotation is corrected. You have to see patient from the table's lower end so that you know it properly. Everything seems to be correct. So that is the time when you can go for a same technician goes to the exposure room and exposes patient. Now this is another X-ray stating same thing, demonstrating same way how a pelvis with both hip is taken. You are taking good internal rotation. See how it is seen. You can see SI joint, hip joints, so also all the anatomical structure that we had described just now. We are showing you two radiographs, radiograph 1 and radiograph 2. What is the difference between these two is you can see the pelvis and iliac. If the angle is straight, you will see something like a left side image. See the pelvic outlet, and here you see pelvic outlet. Of course, it differs from a patient, that is male patient or female patient, but by and large, if the angulation is changed, here we can know it. Now see the femoral neck, they are nicely seen, they are elongated. And in second film, you are seeing the neck is not properly seen. Now what is the cause? Cause is the internal rotation. Now if you see both sides, right side and left side at least there is some way internal rotation is achieved, but on right side there is improper rotation that will result into shortening of the neck. So neck pathologies cannot be commented if your internal rotation is not correct, number one. Number two, if patient is slightly tilted. Now how you know patient is tilted or not is because of the position of ilium. Now let's go to the hip joint lateral, that is the second position. What are the indication? Trauma, suspected neoplasm, pre-post operative assessment of the joint replacement, and anything that is painful will need this for confirmation. Patient is in supine position, central ray is above the hip. How to mark a surface marking for the hip? I have already told you. From anterior superior iliac spine, you go to symphysis pubis. From you draw arbitrary line, from that you find out a mid portion of it, then draw perpendicular. That will give you a position of hip joint. Or best way, you can also palpate it where the hip joint is and adjust your techniques accordingly. Here you have to use a grid cassette. Now grid cassette, as you know, is a cassette with grid. It can be inbuilt grid or it can be separate. Earlier we used to use a CR cassette and a grid separately. Before that there was a time of darkroom processing, in that a grid cassette was available, but now in the era of digital cassette, the thing can be managed on software. So there is no stationary grid required in all these things. Now the patient here is placed in supine position and the pelvis is elevated sufficiently on a firm pillow or a folder sheet to raise the ischial tuberosity approximately 3 centimeters from the tabletop. This support should not interfere with the placement of the cassette directly on the tabletop if you are using a DR technology. So in DR technology, the position of this should differ a little bit. Now how to localize the long axis of femoral neck is draw a line between the anterior superior iliac spine and the upper border of the pubic symphysis and mark it as the central point. Now second, next draw a line approximately 4 inches long perpendicular to the midpoint extending down to the anterior surface of the thigh. This latter line represents the long axis of the femoral neck. Now adjust the central ray perpendicular to the midpoint of this long axis and adjust the film perpendicular to the tabletop so that the projection of the long axis will be projected over the film. If the foot is maintained a vertical position, the anteversion of the neck of the femur is maintained. If the foot of the affected side is inverted 15 degrees, the plane of the neck will be parallel with the cassette and will form a straight line with the long axis of the shaft of the femur. The affected side may be supported over the X-ray tube as shown in video. A grid cassette is used for CR whenever possible or whenever available. Now these are the line diagrams. Now see how is the femoral head, femoral neck and ischial tuberosity. Now let's see how they are taken. Instruction to the patient: check whether these movements patient can do or not. Now first we have to find out where is the hip joint. That is a line drawn from anterior superior iliac spine to the symphysis pubis. Take a midpoint of it. and draw a perpendicular line approximately 4 cm in length to it. That will indicate neck of the femur. Now see here, we are adjusting a cassette as well as the tube. Is it okay? Now what are the problem? Problem is tube is slightly higher up, so you have to get the tube down. As well as, what's the basic principle of radiography? A central ray has to be perpendicular to the incident ray. So are they achieved here? The answer is no. So you will have to adjust the cassette accordingly. Again check whatever I told you is not achieved properly. So how to achieve it properly? We'll see it now. Now here we are showing you how it is corrected. Now here we are showing how it is corrected. See now, the central ray is perpendicular to the cassette, and that is how we achieve a correct position. Here it can be helped by just lifting the affected pelvis by keeping some small bolster below the pelvis, so that a clear view will be easier to obtain. In that, what happens is, because the pelvis goes right on the table, sometimes we do not get that clear space. That's how we should take a correct hip joint lateral. Here there are AP and 2 lateral. AP, you are seeing neck properly. In lateral, the neck has to be properly seen. So this is correct AP. In this lateral, neck is not as good seen. So here we are seeing a good technique and good visualization of the neck. Now coming to a frog leg position. Now indication here is, the indication is congenital dislocation of hip joint. Otherwise these x-rays are not taken. Now how you take it? It is just a little bit modification. Patient is supine with flexed knees touching the table. Central ray is above the pubic symphysis. Then there is 0° angulation to the tube, 100 cm tube distance, 14/17 cassette size, and bucky is required. It's easy to take. That's why sometimes it is taken for the lateral, but a true lateral, what we described before, including its limitation, are bit difficult to take, and technically it needs a more skill. Now what are the points of frog leg position? Is the frog leg lateral view of the hip is not a true view for the head, neck and upper shaft of the femur. All the three will be distorted here. The accentual rimmer in the anterior posterior relationship and a normal anteversion of the neck of the femur is not there. The technique cannot be employed after injuries when the hip joint movement is very limited and painful. So these are the limitation, and the only limitation where most of the time it is taken is in congenital dislocation. It can detect it in very early stage also. Now this is a line diagram for the frog leg position. These are the x-rays where they are separately shown, right side, left side, and here it is the both sides shown. Both sides there is congenital dislocation of hip. That is not a part of this lecture, but a technique of x-ray is definitely part of this lecture. Now with this, we are coming to end of hip joint radiography. We have seen AP, we have seen individual AP, we have seen lateral, we have seen lateral by 2 means. One thing is the best lateral which we need to achieve every time, and second was the lateral by a frog leg position. All these things, the indications are different. We have to go as per the indication. Not only that, we have to find out whether it is possible for patient. A pain is a restricting factor. So also clinician demand. If any surgery is done for the neck of the femur, a surgeon like to have a good look of the neck. But for that, There should be internal rotation, and that sometimes is difficult for patient because of the pain factor. A technician has to manage all these things to get satisfactory answer for a referring clinician. Also, a comfort of radiologist in reporting whether there is a pathology of neck or not. It has to be properly seen, and there has to be proper rotation with minimum discomfort and pain to the patient. Please note, radiology is not a race, it's a process. Be a part of it and enjoy the feast of knowledge. I am Dr. Anil Joshi, logging off till we meet again, but not before acknowledging my sincere thanks and gratitude for my mentors, that is the management of BLD, Deemed University Medical College, that is the Sri B.M. Patil Medical College and Research Center, Vijayapur. The hospital is also attached to it, and we are working there, and most of the work and the videos are prepared there. The staff of Radio Diagnosis Department for their active participation, their IT and photography department to make this project feasible. Without all of them, it would not have been possible for me to complete this video. Thank you. Take care and give your best to the patients.